we got to talk about Bitcoin here. As you can see, we are having a rise in the prices here. We are up a little over 1%, 1.6% in the last 24 hours. But in the last 7 days, 4.2%, 3.8% in the last 2 weeks. So we're going to talk about what's going on. We're pushing above 91K here inside of Bitcoin. So we're going to talk about this. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Hit the like button and subscribe, guys. That really helps the channel. It helps the channel grow a lot. Become a member of the channel, guys. It's super cheap, and you can literally request me to cover anything as long as it's not some type of low cap scam coin. I'll do a technical analysis and cover it. So become a member of the channel, and it also helps support me as well as support the channel and helps me continue to put out this information for free for you guys. So go ahead and become a member of the channel, or you can just donate directly through the crypto links that I have inside of my description, or in the comment section you'll see the Solana or the BNB donation address. That helps out the channel a lot, and it helps me continue to put this content out for free. So go ahead and do that, guys. And we're going to talk about this Bitcoin thing because, as you can see here, we are still in a rising wedge, which is still a bearish pattern. So don't forget that. Don't forget that we still are in a bearish pattern. This is a rising wedge, right? Now, rising wedges, they're not always going to be bullish, right? They are bearish. I mean, they're not always going to be bearish. They're not always going to dump. That's something that you have to understand. And for those of you who don't know, the success rate of a rising wedge, which is, pretty much it going downwards, as you can see, is 81% in bull markets. It will go downwards 81% of the time inside of a bull market. And the breakout direction, as you can see here, bearish 60% of cases is going to be bearish 60% of the time, and 40% of the time it'll be bullish. So it has a 60% chance of going down. And I don't want to say that we are still in a bull market, because obviously that was a big drop inside of the crypto market. But if you do consider this still a bull market, then it has an 81% chance of going down if you consider this a bull market. So I would just say 60%, because I think that we've exited the bull market and we're kind of like on the outskirts, like deciding whether or not it wants to continue to be bullish. So that's kind of how I see it. Now, we also have the fear greed index is now back at a neutral standing point. So this probably means that there's a possibility that it could keep going up to the greedy point and a possibly extreme greed. So if that happens, there's a possibility that we break out of this rising wedge to the upside. So you have to remember that. But even if we break out to the upside, there's still some levels I want you guys to watch. So I'm still watching the previous highs of that last run up, right? And that was at 108K, right? So if we get up to this level, because look, we had a double top here, 108K on this double top. Double tops are bearish signals. As you can see here, the bearish double top, right? So if double tops are bearish, that's why we got rejected here. And that was a very significant resistance area. I'm going to be watching for that resistance area, because let's say we do break out of our rising wedge here and we come up here to 108K. Well, if we come up to 108K, that's going up to that previous level where we had the double top, and that was major resistance. So it's going to be major resistance again. So if we break out of this rising wedge, we have to pay attention to 108K. We're not bullish inside of Bitcoin and crypto until we break past 108K. If we get rejected at 108K, then that is a very bearish signal, right? The relief rally will be over if that happens, okay? And relief rallies are really just temporary increases inside of the price. We also had a bearish double top here. We always have these bearish double tops before we break down and continue lower, right? And it's a very bearish pattern, and it happens all of the time. Literally, last time, 2022, 2023, we seen the same thing. We seen the same bearish double top here. So it's definitely a bearish pattern. So you guys really want to watch out for that. So that is going to be significant resistance, 108K. Remember that, put that in your brains, because if we don't pass 108K, we are completely bearish still, okay? And we're trading within a rising wedge still. So if we're trading within this rising wedge inside of Bitcoin, that is going to be a very, very bearish thing if we hit 100K and actually break out of the rising wedge, right? There's a possibility that we don't break out of the rising wedge and continue lower. There's a possibility that we do and then get rejected at 108K. There's also a possibility that we break past 100K, 108K. And we really don't have to predict what's happening. We just have to watch what's happening. So then when it happens, we can make our decisions. You don't want to try to predict it and try to trade towards that prediction. You want to wait for confirmation. So if we break out of the rising wedge, you want to wait for that confirmation to see if we get rejected at 108K or if we continue upwards. If we continue upwards past 108K, then that is when buying is probably a smart idea, because then it's probably going to continue upwards. If we don't and we get rejected, then shorting is probably going to be the smarter idea. But then again, you don't know until it continues lower than the previous level of 80K. If it goes below 80K, that confirms the bearish scenario. Okay, so that's what you really got to watch there. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin. So we still have indicators as well on the smaller charts showing us things. So we've broken past this resistance here that we've been stuck at 90K. That's pretty bullish. In my previous video, in my live stream, I mentioned that if we break past 90K, we're coming towards 94K. That's exactly what's happening now. We broke past that 90K resistance, and now we're coming for 94K. So expect 94K to come next. Expect it to come soon. We have we have the %R trend exhaustion showing that we are overbought, but we could stay overbought for a bit longer. So I would continue to watch that, and especially since we're coming up towards 94K. So that is another thing, a lot of buying pressure coming inside of the MACD here on the 4-hour chart. And then when you come to the daily chart and look at it, you can see how we've broken past that, and we definitely have more ways to go up to 94K, and probably going to touch the top of this rising wedge here at about 96K. We'll have to see if we're going to get rejected at that point. Okay. And then we also have this. The %R trend exhaustion is showing that now we have the short-term trend, which is the white line, increasing. And now we have the long-term trend, which is the blue line, slowly trying to increase. Usually when the short-term trend breaks way past the long-term trend, it comes back, it pulls the price down, and then that ends up being the thing here. As you can see here, it breaks out. Only the short-term trend breaks out. The long-term trend does not. So the price comes back down. And now we're trying it again. The short-term trend's coming up, and the long-term trend is coming up alongside it, but not as fast. So when the short-term trend becomes overbought, it's going to pull back to that long-term trend. The real question is it going to do what it's been doing and kind of continue upwards, and we're just going to have a slow grind upwards? That is a possibility. So that's something that you want to pay attention to on the charts. And then we have the MACD showing a good amount of buying pressure coming in for Bitcoin. So this is another thing that we have to watch and pay attention to. And we're also seeing a lot of money flowing into the markets. We're seeing just everything is going crazy. Everything is pumping. Everything is doing well. Dogecoin up 7% in the last 24 hours, 23% in the last 7 days. So these are things that you want to pay attention to. If we continue to have altcoins moving up, some people are saying it's altcoin season, but that's not the case. It's not necessarily altcoin season. It's just that they've been itching to pump. All of these altcoins have been itching to increase and go up inside of price. So obviously they're going to start going up because they've been waiting for this. And, they've bottomed out. Pepe, 53% in the last 7 days. I made a video about Pepe saying that I think that it could get to 50 billion in market cap. Now, obviously, that's an old video. So a lot of people that are watching that video now, Just remember that video was made during the time that we were pumping and we're around like 5 to 6 billion. Right now we got to see if this is going to be a continued rise in the prices, or is this just going to be a bull trap? And me personally, I think that we are forming a bull trap. I think we might have more of a ways to go downwards in the market. And don't fall for a lot of these projects, right? We have stuff like MYX Finance just pumping, going insane. Remember what happened last time? Remember when they pumped and dumped? Yeah, they're doing it again. And it's up 55%, yes. But remember, it pumped and dumped. I'm going to make a whole video about this, so don't worry. But there's a lot of things that are about to pump and dump. Don't fall for it. If it's up 50%, don't go buying it, because that's probably a stupid idea. You want to find things that haven't yet had that pump, because again, I think Bitcoin's going to continue upwards towards 94K. And if we break past 94K, we're coming up to 96K. And that's big, because if 96K is broken and it gets out of this rising wedge, then the next area for us to hit is going to be 108K. And if that happens, you better bet that altcoins are going to increase as well. And if altcoins are going to increase as well, you want to get in on the ones that have not had a significant increase in price. So you're going to want to go through and look at these. And remember, Uniswap had something big. I forgot what happened, but they did some type of big update. I can't remember. But look at Uniswap. It did not pump. Watch for the coins that have not pumped. These are going to be the coins that are going to give you your best return, because they haven't pumped yet. Now, I'm not saying Uniswap is just going to take off, but I'm saying watch these different coins that haven't pumped. Just look at them and, pay attention, because if they haven't pumped, or if they haven't went up by too much, they're probably going to be the ones to benefit the most off of the recent uptrends. So pay attention to a lot of these projects. Aster might be another one of them. So yeah, just keep an eye out for them. All right. I'm going to be making a lot of videos on a lot of different projects individually. And if you want to specifically request a project to me, I won't go over it unless you donate it to the channel or become a member of the channel, because I do all this for free. So I need to see support from you guys. So hit the like button, subscribe. And if you want to recommend me to go over a specific project, become a member of the channel. It's literally only $9.99 per month. So become a member of the channel if you really want to make those requests, because I see people every day making requests, telling me go over this, go over that, but they don't want to support the channel. So support the channel. If you also want, you can send donations through the Solana link in the description in the comment section, and the BNB link. It'll help out the channel a lot. And I give all this information for free, and I do technical analysis on literally everything. I did a whole 4-hour live stream of me trading, and I was trading the stock market. So there's a lot of info that I have to give out, but I need support from you guys, because when nobody supports, people don't hit the like button, people don't subscribe, people don't become members of the channel, people don't donate, people don't do all this. You don't have to donate, by the way, but that's just a kind gesture, I guess. But when you don't do this, I'm not going to be making videos as much, because why would I make these videos, get 100 views, make $1 off of ad revenue, and spend hours upon hours doing this free content for you guys and not trading for myself? I'd rather be making money for myself, but here I am making videos for you guys. So I'm literally trying to, put out this information for free for you guys. So become a member of the channel. It helps support the channel. It helps me continue to put out this free information for everybody. And yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. As always, I'll be back with another video.